You know, anytime I say the phrase Black Lives Matter, I know what my comment section is going to look like before I even click on it. And I know I'm not going to see anything clever. I'm not going to see anything witty. I'm not going to see anything new. Nothing that makes me stop and scratch my head and go, gee, you know, maybe they got a point. I never thought about it that way. No, it's going to be the same worn out talking points that these people have been regurgitating for years and people like me has been debunking for years. So if you wonder why I never get in the comment section and go around in circles with people who says, well, what about Chicago? What about black on black crime? What about Black Lives Matter being a terrorist organization? What about them burning and looting? What about that stuff, huh? The reason I don't get in there and talk about those talking points is because they just further prove the fucking point that you missed the fucking point. When I say Black Lives Matter, I'm referring to black people being brutalized and murdered unjustly by the police. And what you're doing when you bring up all those talking points that Sean Hannity, Alex Jones, your local minister, and your brainwashed conspiracy theorist uncle threw at you, you're trying to distract and you're trying to take the attention off what we're trying to talk about by highlighting your problems, by acting like that somehow you are the persecuted one because you're offended by a Starbucks coffee cup. You're mad at Dick's Sporting Goods. It's so ridiculous when I see people stand up and talk about the problems that they're facing. And it's, man, they're letting boys in the Girl Scouts now. Like I'm really supposed to think that compares to George Floyd. Like I'm really supposed to think that compares to Breonna Taylor. It doesn't compare. In no world does it compare. But if you want to act like you're so persecuted, my question is, since when did rednecks suddenly get a hard-on for the police? I grew up right on the southeast Kentucky, East Tennessee border, okay? At a time when the number one show on TV was Two Good Old Boys Running from the Law. And when I was growing up, that's, oh, hey, the pigs are coming, man. I heard the pigs got a roadblock down there at Granny's grocery. You boys better be careful. Go up around No Town. Go that way. Just avoid that shit. And I can't count the times I played in all these backwoods dive bars. Somebody come up and whisper into my ear, hey, man, you better tell them there's a roadblock. Pigs got a roadblock set up there. They already got Junior. Yeah, he's drunk out there mooning them, and they got him. You know, they finally talked him down. It took them 3 hours, but they finally got him to pull his pants up. They took him down there to jail, but I think his daddy's on his way to get him. I can't count the times I heard that shit. But then when we showed you videos of people being brutalized, well, they should have just complied. Well, they should have just went along with it. You know good and well, and don't tell me I'm wrong, because I'm not. I'll be cocky for just a minute. I'm not wrong about this. If this was happening to white people at the same alarming rate, if it was happening to people that I grew up with in my part of the world, they would be standing on every courthouse steps in this part of the world with their guns over their shoulder demanding justice. But just because the person didn't look like you, and just because the person was of a different race from you, well, you just couldn't see it. And then you wonder why we use words like racist. I don't know why they call me racist for. Well, because it's showing.